Hello and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. And today, first of all, it's been a long time since I've done a video in Assetto Corsa, but today I'm going to be showing you a few of the best, if not the absolute best mods that I think everybody who plays Assetto Corsa should now have to ensure that they get the most out of their simulator. And I'm not talking about cars or tracks here, I'm talking about general mods, environment mods, mainly environment mods, and also mods that open up more abilities to the car, more options for the car. And of course, this mod that you see right in front of you right here, which is the content manager mod. So make sure you stay tuned for the next, however long this video is, to see me talk a little bit about these mods, show you which mods I'm doing, or which mods I'm using, and then actually demonstrate these mods in the title. Okay, so the first mod that needs no introduction whatsoever is, of course, the content manager mod right there. The content manager, there you go. A custom launcher and content management app for Assetto Corsa. Currently version 0.8. I have got the paid version of this because I think that this is really that good, that the paid version is definitely needed. So moving on from that, of course, what the content manager mod can do is literally everything. It gives you the whole driving ability. In fact, the mods that I'm using in this video require the content manager, so make sure you do get this content manager. It's absolutely brilliant, and there's so much that you can actually do with it, so make sure you get that. The second mod that we're going to be having a look at is, of course, the shaders light patch. This mod is available, in fact I think it's made by the same person potentially that made the content manager, at least, or they are in the same community, or same part of the community, should I say. Of course, everyone's in the same community, but the same part of the community. So the shader light patch is another mod that's massively recommended. Allows lights, more than one light source to be present, using some weird trickery and everything like that. So instead of just having the sunlight, when the lights are on a car, it actually lights up the ground, which is really good. And of course, it's still in progress. I think there's another big release that's going to be coming out in sometime in the near future, if I'm correct, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, shader lights patch, again, absolute top mod. As a matter of fact, a number of the other mods that I'm going to show you also recommend this mod, or say you have to have this mod. Wet mod does what it says on the tin, creates some wet tracks. Now currently I think we can have Monza in the wet, Spa in the wet, Silverstone in the wet, the Nürburgring in the wet, and I think Laguna Seca, and I think there may be one more, Imola. I think Imola is also available in a wet variant, so it creates a wet variant of that. I will be showing you those in a moment. So again, another mod that's absolutely top. And then moving on from that, we need to not look at that. That's my track IR sort of kind of system, which I'm going to see if I can use today. But the other mods that we really need to be looking at are two mods that I came across today, which are the BLM car and lights mod. BLM lights allows us to get better reflections, better setup of the lights on the track and the car itself. Also giving us brighter lights or no lights on the track, if the track has it actually installed. So for example, I'm going to be going out at the Nürburgring because I know that definitely the Nürburgring has this. I might check out Spa at some point. And then of course we've got BLM car. Now this one's really interesting. This works fantastically with the rain mod, and what it does is, one, it allows you to use the car wipers. That's something that's never been we've never been able to do in Assetto Corsa. Two, it allows you to set rain, and you actually have realistic raindrops falling on the car. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be in the exterior view. It's only interior at the moment, but I hope it's expanded to the exterior view. And three, as far as I can tell, it allows us to set the mirrors. So we can actually set up the mirrors how we want them, which is really awesome. Some of the complaints I've had, as I'm sure you've heard, over the 130, 140 episodes, is that the mirrors sometimes don't look the greatest, and this allows us to sort that out. So that's the other one. And of course, the Good Bad Weather Suite by Peter Bowes. Not that one. of course we need to have this one. All the best weathers, all the reshade content. Without this, I think Assetto Corsa would be incredibly boring. Absolutely fantastic product, and I'm going to be showing those off right now. So let's go into the drive menu. I've now shown you which mods we're looking at. A few of the things, of course, Content Manager allows us to set the time of day. With the good and bad weather, I think we could set all the way, or it works across the entire spectrum. And of course, in standard Assetto Corsa, it's only between 8 in the morning and 6 in the evening. With the Content Manager, we can go all the way from midnight to midnight, so you can have any time of day. We can also set real conditions. So as you can see right now, as I'm recording this, it is 21:24 at the Nordschleife. It's a bit misty, and it is 11 degrees with a slight headwind coming in from the northeast, or blowing towards the northeast, of about 8 miles an hour. So there you go, you can do real conditions. That's something you couldn't do. Also, with this version, we can also do specific dates, and that actually adjusts the sun position. So that's really cool, and that works with the good and bad weather suite. And as you can see, the good and bad weather has a bunch of weathers. All of them are now 24 hours. There you go. So actually, that's the one that's not 24 hour. Cold and drizzle light are not yet 24 hours. There you go. So there are 2 that aren't yet 24 hours, but the rest of them are 24 hours. So you can see all of the different ones now. What else can I show you on this? Of course, we've got the whole wind options. I think we can even bring in gusts. Yeah, there you go. We can actually adjust the wind, which is really neat. I don't think you can do that in the standard Assetto Corsa launcher. Now, this is the really weird part. I haven't used the Assetto Corsa launcher now in probably about 18 months. I've just been using this the whole time through. So I've even forgotten half the things that are in the Assetto Corsa launcher. And of course, we've got car specific controls that we can set up. Tire blankets, I remember, were there, but we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. So it's really cool. And of course, we can change the color of your cars also here without having to actually go into the car menu. Anyway, so that's the Content Manager. And of course, we're going to see the good and bad weather. I'll set that up in a minute. What I want to show you is a few of these. So we've got the BLM lights that we need to activate. Of course, I use Sidekick. That's another app that's really great, Sidekick. So I use Sidekick, and we've got BLM car, and I've just added in the extensions for the mirror. I probably don't need that debug, but the shaders extension for the mirrors. Now if we go to apps, I can show you the BLM lights one. We've got a whole bunch of options, of course, starting with lights off. We've got the about info about track lights. I'm going to leave that on for now so you can see it. We've got the lights type. I guess we can go to track. I guess it should be tracks and cars, but I'm not too sure. I'm not really sure yet how this works with the shaders patch. But there we go. So we've got that. We can have these track lights. Let's put them up to maximum. We can have the color. You can change colors on them. You've got description colors. So yes, there are a lot of things right here, and we can obviously change all these different things to write things out. So there you go. Each light sets the color for each light source in the light sources section, so on and so forth. Then we've got some hotkeys to switch on lights: Alt and M, Alt and L, Alt and B, Alt and C, and I'll show you this, and I'll show you how this works in a minute. And of course, different ways. We've got compact, extended, and only FPS info. Car BLM car allows us, there you go, there's the rain options right there. And of course, we've got the mirror options, which don't show here, but we have to make sure that there is an option that is selected in a config file for mirror extensions for real mirrors. Again, when you install this app, or when you install any of these mods, make sure you read the instructions. It's really important. So those are those two, and I think that's showing you all the configuration for all of that. Now all I've got to do is actually get into one of these and give you a good look-see at it. So what should I do? What car should I pick to give you guys a good look-see at it? I could go for a LaFerrari, but that would be really silly to do. You know, I quite like the Testarossa. I really do like the Testarossas. So perhaps if I pick this car, no ABS, nothing like that, so it should be pretty interesting to drive in the wet. So yeah, let's pick this car. And let's see if there's still an error, because last time I showed off the wet mod, it was on stream, and there was a sheen where the tires would sort of clip in. And of course, the simulator is not designed to do what we're making it do, so I don't blame them for having that sheen, but it was a little bit annoying. So here we go. Let's try this out. We're going to go about, let's go for about 6:30 in the morning. I'm going to go for time multiplier 20. So for every minute that we are in the sim, it should be going forward 20 minutes. And we're going to be at least 10 minutes in or on the track. We're going to be on the track for at least 10 minutes. So we should go forward, for every minute is 20 minutes. So we should go forward about 3 hours. Just over 3 hours. So we're going to do that. And I am going to give it some good and bad weather. And we're going to go for... let's go for some rain. Let's go for some light rain. There we go. 11 degrees, 6 in the morning, a little bit windy. I think that looks pretty good. And we are going to go and start from the pits. So let's give this a go. Alright, so here we are loaded up. I know I was going to pick the Ferrari Testarossa, and that's what you saw me select, but I've decided to go with this one for the simple reason that I remembered that it doesn't work so well in mods. What on earth is that? Are there clouds going past? There must be clouds going past. I know it doesn't work so well with mods, some of these options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave traction control off, because that's going to be a little bit of fun. And that's about it, and we're going to go into the actual sim. So I'm going to show you a few things right now. This is the car mod for the BLM car. That Sidekick right there, of course, it's I've shown you this so many times, so I don't need to show you this again, but I'm going to show you this one right here. So this switches on lights for the, what do you call it, the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Now, annoyingly, I think I may have picked the wrong time of day for this, because it's not actually starting up any lights right now, but I didn't want to pick too early. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably at the end pick up the lights and get you some of those lights running. But then we can select wet, and if I go outside we can probably see this. Yeah, just have a look at those reflections there and the difference between wet off and wet on. So that's wet off, that's wet on. You can see everything's a lot brighter, everything's shining a lot more. Look at those reflections there. With wet off, they're a bit hazed out. With wet on, of course, they're more pronounced. There's more gloss, there's more reflection going on. So that's the difference there. Oh, there are some lights on. Look at that. Yes, those lights are on. Okay, so you are going to see some lighting. Great. And we've got that light as well, which is some sort of beacon light, I think. Yep, that's some sort of beacon light. Okay, so we've got that. Moving on inside, which is not that key right there. I can change the mirrors, so this is really cool. So if we look at this now, you can see here we've got this 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and it says L, C, and R. That's the mirrors. So for example, right now I've got the left mirror. I can move the mirror left and right exactly as you would in a real car. I can move it up and down, and I can change. Now this is something you can't do in a real car. I can change the field of view of the mirror and of course the ratio. So I could do that if I really wanted to, make it seem really, really odd and distorted. That would work really well for VR, I think, and I probably should be doing that to it. So that's that mirror sorted. Then we can go to the center mirror. You can see I can't see all too well out of that mirror, so I'm actually going to knock that mirror down a bit, and I'm actually going to zoom in a little so I can see out of that mirror a lot better. So there you go. And then we've got the right mirror on that side, and I can probably swap that over, have a look over there, and let's see, probably do that to that mirror and see if that's actually going to help me. And of course these mirrors actually work as mirrors now, as opposed to before. So as I'm leaning in and out, you can see that the mirror, the viewport or the viewpoint of the mirror is actually changing, as you would expect, which is really, really cool. So we've got that. Let's go back to, let's leave that on the right mirror. So we've got those options right there. Also with this, of course, we've got the rain. Let me switch the wiper off. There you go. So you've got the rain actually falling. Of course, this is still in progress, and you can see that it does work on the side, over here, over there, and for some reason up there, I'm not too sure why, But there we go. So we've got the rain, and then of course we've got wipers. Now these can be controlled with the keys, and I did show you that with the app configuration you can control them. So for example, if I press Alt and W, I should be able to switch on intermittent wipers. So we've got intermittent, which is at the moment is not acting as intermittent. It should stop in a few seconds. Possibly not acting as intermittent. There it goes. Which is really odd. But then we've got full wipers, we've got faster wipers, and we've got incredibly fast wipers. So I'm going to go for these wipers right here. Check the time, it's 7:07, which is great, and we are going to go for a bit of a drive, and we're going to see exactly what this all this combination is like. This is a combination I've not tried before, so this is going to be very, very interesting in this Ferrari. So here we go. Step 1, obviously don't hit anything. Right, it's still dark. Now what we could do is, if we really, really wanted to, we could bump our lights up to something like 200%. So you can see, or 300%, and have full beams. So we could really do that if we wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. So I am going to bring the lights back to 100%. And it does lag it out a little bit, but I mean, you can't really expect too much from them like that. I mean, this is going well beyond what Assetto Corsa was designed to do. Let me get my head tracking sorted. Yeah, I'm going to go that way. This is why... right, okay. That was me sorting out my head tracking. In the dry, that would have been fine. In the wet, of course not. Here we go. So let's go. Let's get back underway. Is my head tracking okay now? Yes, it is, or somewhat. Okay, let's continue. So here we are. Continue along this way. It's a very slow drive, but it does give you an idea of how impressive this mod is. I mean, look, the rain is actually going up your screen, up your windscreen, as you would expect the faster you go. So they've actually taken speed into account. Look at that. The faster you go, at least to some extent, the higher or the more the rain moves upwards up your screen, as you would expect. It doesn't seem to be doing it on the side screens yet, but that's okay. And I haven't seen an external view. As I said, the external view doesn't seem to have the rain droplets. But nevertheless, this is something that I think when Assetto Corsa came out, we would never have been expecting to be able to do this in Assetto Corsa. The Yokohama sign is off, but those lights would be on in the dark. So there is that. Up we go. This is a dangerous corner. In fact, this is the Nordschleife. Most of these corners are dangerous. Ooh, slight snap of oversteer on the way in. Slight oversteer on the way out. Too much power, obviously not enough traction. With no traction control in this car, it's a really silly thing to do in the wet, but it's a simulator, therefore I get to do it. Got the beacon light flashing up there. We're just getting through the day, as I said. What time is it now on it? Oh, it's still 7:07. I don't know why the time is not progressing. It's supposed to be progressing, but for some reason it doesn't seem to be doing so. Oh, almost lost that. So it looks like we'll do a little bit like this, and then what I'll do is I'll just quickly swap to some daylight. Or I guess you've already seen this for a little while, so we'll swap over to some daylight, and I'll show you the rain in the daytime, which might look a little bit better for you guys. So let's swap over to daytime. Okay, so here I am. Now we're at Spa, and this is going to be quite interesting. You can see just how wet the track is. We're in light thunderstorm conditions with the good and bad weather, and of course you can see it's clearly raining. I'm in an Audi R8. I guess I could switch this on so we can have a look around. But this is just different. This is very different. This is not Assetto Corsa the way we know Assetto Corsa. This is spectacular. This really is spectacular. And I love the fact that the mirrors work as mirrors as well. That's really awesome. It's not just some sort of projected screen. No traction control on in this car, so I am having to be very, very easy as I drive it. I don't like switching traction control on. It's something you can't. If you were to drive a car like this in real life, you'd probably be more worried, and in this kind of condition you would switch the traction control on. But I'm not going to switch it on. So we'll do a lap or two in this, and that's well in the video. And we'll see what you guys think of it. Again, I didn't really plan to do a video like this, but I thought, you know what? I was originally going to do a video on me just driving a Formula 1 car. Okay, that corner is very slippery. But I thought, hey, you know what? We've got this. I saw these mods being updated, and I came across the BLM mod as well. So I thought, you know what? I have to try this because this looks absolutely incredible. So all these mods together, the content manager running with the good and bad weather, running with the wet mod, running with the BLM car mod, the BLM lights mod, the shaders patch obviously powering a lot of this. All of it just combined gives you some of the most incredible driving experiences in Assetto Corsa. It's amazing that a title that is now, what, 4 years old? I think that's when I first got it, 4 years ago. It's amazing that a title that's 4 years old can still do this, and do it really well as well. I mean, the frame rates are not struggling. I've got my head tracking running. That's not causing an issue. We've got the rain going. Oh, that's going to be horrible. That slid so badly. I was not paying attention. And that's why you pay attention when you're driving. That's why you pay attention when you're driving cars and don't talk. I'll shut up, downshift protection. But anyway, yeah, we'll ignore that. That was me just not paying attention. Just being able to do this so many years after it's come out is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And of course, as you can see there where I slid off at Blanchimont, I just completely forgot that this was Assetto Corsa, and I didn't forget this was Assetto Corsa. I was looking at it, I knew what I was looking at, but because my mind thought it was Assetto Corsa, I thought I know what the grip's going to be at Blanchimont, because it's always that grip. But obviously it wasn't, because we've had the adjustment. The other thing that we've got is digital flags as well. I haven't had a chance to see those. I'd like to see those work, so I will definitely check them out. But hopefully you guys have really enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa if you want them. I've definitely got a couple more lined up. Going back into the review style, but first I really wanted to show you these mods because these are brilliant. Make sure you pick all of them up: the content manager, the shaders patch, the good and bad weather by Peter Bowes, the BLM mods, both BLM light and BLM car, and of course the wet mod itself, and whatever other mods you can find. I quite like the real billboards mod as well. Sidekick, that's a great title, or sorry, great mod. This car is understeering so badly. It's really wet, really is wet here. But anyway, don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your supports would be massively massively appreciated. Would really help me out. I think I need to start using a karting line here. Would really help me out. Also, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ecgadget, and you will find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time in Assetto Corsa, where, well, I don't know what we're going to come across, but this is absolutely stunning. I just want to keep playing this for a very long time. I'll see you guys next time.